Hello everybody! Oftentimes, many people make the comparison between Idle Heroes and Clash of Streamers. Usually that comparison comes in the form of calling Clash of Streamers an Idle Heroes clone. People who do say stuff like that don't say it without reason. After all, Clash of Streamers was largely inspired by Idle Heroes, so it only makes sense that they will share a lot of similarities. Despite the similarities, there are actually quite a few differences between both games. In this video, we are going to discuss what, in my opinion, are 10 of the biggest differences between Clash of Streamers and Idle Heroes. This is far from an exhaustive list of differences, so if I don't mention something, go easy on me. I'm trying my best here. Either way, here are the top 10 biggest differences between Clash of Streamers and Idle Heroes. In number 10, we have the difference in the tutorial phase. In Idle Heroes, the tutorial is basically given to you by a guide lady who walks you through the various aspects of the game. The guide will introduce you to several important aspects of the game, like the campaign, the summon circle, while also teaching you what your heroes are and various other aspects. Beyond that, you're pretty much on your own to figure out most other areas of the game. In Clash of Streamers, the tutorial is introduced in a much different way. When you first enter the game, you'll notice the map is pretty much empty. Everything in the game needs to be built from the ground up, so this way you're able to learn and understand everything really easily. Every minigame, every slot machine, every component is all built and added by you at whatever pace you feel like progressing. This even applies to your ability to spend money. You literally can't spend money right out of the gate. You have to unlock the ability to spend your money. How about that? In number 9, we have the difference in overall game experience. When I say game experience, I'm referring to factors which make the overall user experience easier, less punishing, more streamlined, and just better overall. With Idle Heroes, at a certain level, you can't progress in the campaign. You also don't get refunded the full materials for disassembling your heroes. Not only that, but you also have limited bag space, which means you have to constantly disassemble heroes, which kind of ruins the experience of long summon sprees. For some people, this may not seem like a big deal, but after playing Clash of Streamers, it's quite literally a deal breaker. In Clash of Streamers, you can progress as much as you want whenever you want. There's no level cap or anything like that. You also get refunded the full materials of your lost heroes when you're upgrading. There's also no limit to the number of heroes you can get, and the list goes on. There's also a huge difference between Idle Heroes and Clash of Streamers and how certain actions are done. In Idle Heroes, when you go into battle and upgrade your heroes, everything needs to be manually set up, while in Clash of Streamers, the smart button handles pretty much everything, so the process is much more simple, efficient, and streamlined, leading to a smoother experience. I don't think I need to mention how convenient the auto upgrade feature is too.
Wow!
Perhaps the biggest difference in the overall game experience is how loot is distributed in both games. In Clash of Streamers, you are given an absolute ton of loot on a regular basis. In fact, each day you are given quite a significant amount of progress, all for free. This progress comes in the form of gems given to you, free spins in various buildings, free chests to open, and much more. All this stuff may seem small and insignificant, but in the long run, it really adds up to a vastly different user experience. In number 8, we have the difference in overall game excitement factors. Just how exciting is Idle Heroes compared to Clash of Streamers? I won't lie, it's definitely exciting to roll a high quality 5-star hero when summoning or spinning the wheel in Idle Heroes, but I think that's about the extent of it. It's really quite hard to compare that to Clash of Streamers. In Clash of Streamers, everything is literally dialed up to 100 and made infinitely more epic with the help of multipliers. Literally everything in the game has the chance to be upgraded. You can get upgraded chests through multipliers, you can get upgraded damage in battle through multipliers, you can also get upgraded spins through multipliers, upgraded loot, the list goes on. These multipliers add up to a vastly different and more exciting game because you have absolutely no idea when something epic might happen. One day you could simply be opening a chest after finishing a daily quest, and the next thing you know, you roll a 100 times multiplier on the chest and get an insanely strong hero. Clash of Streamers is simply an RNG fiesta with absolutely over-the-top special effects and rewards lying around pretty much every corner. In number 7, we have replays. Now, there are epic moments which can happen in both Idle Heroes and Clash of Streamers. Maybe you can get insanely lucky in Idle Heroes and roll a few powerful 5-star heroes with 10 summon scrolls. If you do, you probably want to show off your insane luck to the world.
Oh my god, no! What is that noise?
The only issue is, unlike this legend here, you probably weren't recording your epic moment. In Clash of Streamers, you can share any of your epic moments with the world at any time. Whenever you run into anything cool, whether it's a rare summon, a crazy battle, an epic reward from a slot machine, or pretty much anything you would consider crazy, you can add it to your replay book. Any player can view the replays inside of another player's replay book. If your replay is crazy enough, it will also be added to the top global replays, where anybody in the world can see your epic moment. Idle Heroes has the ability to replay the best fights at each stage of the Tower of Oblivion, but needless to say, that's quite a bit different. In number 6, we have trading. Unfortunately, Idle Heroes doesn't give players the ability to trade stuff with other players. It's understandable though, because trading inside games is something which is hard to do without making it completely overpowered and exploitable. In Clash of Streamers, trading is made possible through two different areas: the auction house and the blockchain building. The auction house gives players the ability to buy and sell skins for Krypton, while the blockchain gives players a decentralized way to buy and sell heroes and pets for the cryptocurrency Doobie. This means if you're smart enough, you can potentially make money by playing Clash of Streamers. Trading through the blockchain isn't really overpowered or exploitable in Clash of Streamers simply because it's largely dependent on owning a ton of the premium currency Krypton. This means you either have to spend a lot of money or spend a lot of time playing the game before you can enter the market. In number 5, we have the difference in servers. Idle Heroes is split into hundreds of servers, where new servers are constantly being rolled out. This has a few advantages as well as disadvantages. You can easily start a new game on a new server whenever you please. However, the main issue is, given enough time, that server will eventually die out because nobody new will be joining. This turns many of the community-related features into something that will eventually fizzle out and die. Not only that, but your VIP levels don't transfer between servers, which means any progress you gained by spending money will eventually go to waste as you move to a new server. In Clash of Streamers, everything is locked down to one global server, and as a result, you will always be able to interact with a community of players through the many community-related features in the game. Any VIP levels gained will stick with you at all times, and you'll always have any progress gained by spending money. All these differences lead to two vastly different experiences in the long run. In number 4, we have offline play. Idle Heroes is purely an online game. If you aren't connected to the internet, you can't play the game. Simple as that. However, you can actually play Clash of Streamers both online and offline. You don't need to be connected to the internet to play the game. You might think this would be an issue with hackers giving themselves insane loot when they're offline. While this might be possible, as soon as the hacker connects back to the internet, their account will immediately be set to a rare trust level, which restricts them from taking part in any online activities. It's basically a blacklist system that works in place of banning players. As long as you are connecting to the internet at least once every few weeks, you can play the game purely offline. Clash of Streamers is actually the first online game which also allows you to progress offline. It's really quite neat. In number 3, we have the difference in community functionality. In Idle Heroes, you have guilds, a server chat, a guild chat, as well as a friends list. You can message players, duel them, fight guild bosses, as well as take part in guild wars. In Clash of Streamers, instead of guilds, you have communities. In a community, you can take part in a lot of these same activities as Idle Heroes. The major difference between both games is the following. In Clash of Streamers, the community integration is largely intertwined with Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. As a player, you can stream Clash of Streamers from within the game to one of these 3 platforms. Other players can watch your stream from within the game, chat with other players in the stream chat, and join your community if they want. Since Clash of Streamers is largely a community-focused game, it doesn't end there either. Players and communities can show off their most impressive heroes or pets and discuss stuff with each other in the Reddit-like building Hot Stories. Community members can also communicate with each other through text as well as voice chat. In number 2, we have the difference in heroes. The way heroes work in both games is really quite different. In Idle Heroes, all heroes are unique looking and the ability set on each hero is unique and specific only to that hero. While this makes getting rare heroes really exciting, it's also quite restrictive. In Clash of Streamers, your heroes are much more flexible. You can swap abilities on your heroes, customizing your ideal team composition for battles fairly easily. In Idle Heroes, you can add equipment to your heroes to improve them. Meanwhile, in Clash of Streamers, it's simplified and narrowed down to purely a leveling system. Perhaps the biggest difference comes down to skins. In Idle Heroes, the skin of a hero is simply a change in the character model, while the skin of a hero in Clash of Streamers is shown by a change in the face of a hero, where the more rare, epic, and legendary skins provide additional stat bonuses, sometimes in attack, sometimes in health, and sometimes in armor. Not only that, but the skin of a hero in Clash of Streamers is actually something added into the game by other players. If you have a YouTube channel or a Facebook page with a decent following, or if you're a Twitch affiliate or partner, you can actually be a part of the game by adding skins of your choosing. They will then be shown on heroes just like the ones shown here. You can also then choose to sell your skins to players or simply give them away for free. The choice is yours. In number 1, the biggest difference comes down to the actual people behind each game. Not much is known about the Idle Heroes developer DH Games. They are simply a company based out of Hong Kong that have published several other games in the past. They are like most other mobile developers who publish free-to-play games. The game is published, maintained for a while, and eventually discontinued. While the game is public, there's also not much community feedback taken into account, unfortunately. In fact, this is what the Idle Heroes subreddit had to say regarding DH Games' stance on community feedback.
Boom. Roasted.
Clearly, there seems to be a bit of a disconnect between people who are playing Idle Heroes and the actual developers. On the other hand, the developer of Clash of Streamers is listed as the Naughty Cult. As you can already tell, they are not your typical game developers. Strangely enough, the people behind the game are actually hardcore altruists. In fact, the lead designer of the game, Athene, has a history of raising money for charity. He's helped raise more than $24 million for Save the Children, with the money going towards supporting various programs of theirs. Programs including their child and newborn survival programs, their East Africa Child Relief Fund back during an extremely severe drought in Ethiopia in 2016, just to name a few. Athene is working closely together with a group of over 40 people who are looking to help the world in any way possible. Now you might wonder, how in the world is a game with in-app purchases which reach as high as $250 helping the world? Well, the money brought in from the game will go directly to support their future charitable efforts, with their current focus set on decentralized universal basic income. In fact, they're already in talks with Save the Children to start universal basic income pilot programs through cryptocurrency technology. Although these details are the core of what they're all about, many people might not care about this stuff. So how are they as actual game developers then? It turns out they're actually quite open to feedback, as several community suggestions have already been implemented in the game to help improve the experience. Within Clash of Streamers, you can also regularly find the lead game designer, Athene, streaming inside of Athene's church. Needless to say, there is a huge difference between the developers of Clash of Streamers and pretty much every other game developer today. And that is all I've got for this video, guys. I'm gonna be really honest. I was trying really hard to be unbiased with this video, but I'm pretty sure it just ended up being one giant Clash of Streamers ad. I'm sorry, it's just that much better. I don't know what else to say. Either way, clearly there are quite a few differences between both games, so at the very least, this should quell the myth that Clash of Streamers is just an Idle Heroes clone. Definitely let me know, which game do you guys prefer, Clash of Streamers or Idle Heroes? Are there aspects in some game which you wish existed in another? Seriously though, actually let me know, I'm curious. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. We have a lot more Clash of Streamers content on the way. Until the next time.